You wanted potluck recipes, so here they are. These are great for church get-togethers, family dinners, and even those summer cookouts coming here soon. Hey y'all, I'm Valerie, and welcome to my kitchen. In today's video, I'm sharing 4 potluck recipes that everyone is gonna love. Okay y'all, let's get started. These hot chicken salad sliders were so good. I've got a large bowl here. I'm adding in 2 cups of cooked shredded chicken. But if you wanted to use rotisserie chicken, I'm sure that would be even better. I also chopped up about 2 stalks of celery and added that in. And if you're not a fan of celery, you can totally leave that out. You're also going to add 3/4 cup of mayonnaise and some salt and pepper to taste. Now add in about a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Then I just went ahead and gave it a quick little stir just to make sure I got everything combined before I added in the cheese. Now the recipe called for 8 slices of cheddar cheese, so after you spread the chicken salad on the bottom of the Hawaiian rolls, you would just lay the slices of cheddar cheese on top. But since I didn't have that, I just used about 1 cup of shredded cheese, and I just went ahead and mixed it on into the chicken salad. And if you don't like cheese, you can leave it out altogether and it'll still be really good. But I say you just gotta give it a try with the cheese. I've got a pack of Hawaiian rolls here. I cut them in half horizontally and then just laid them down in a 9x13 baking dish. You can also line the bottom of that dish with foil, that way it'll be a little bit easier to clean it up. Now you're just gonna take that chicken salad mixture and spread it evenly across the bottom half of those rolls. And this did make a lot of chicken salad, maybe a little bit more than what the rolls really needed, but I went ahead and added it all. I probably could have held back enough to have me a chicken salad sandwich for the next day. If you're using the sliced cheese, this is the time where you would lay that on. And I couldn't resist sprinkling on about a 1/2 cup more of shredded cheddar cheese here. By the way, if you're enjoying this video so far, I would really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up. It just lets me know you want to see more videos like this. Okay, I topped that chicken salad with the top half of those Hawaiian rolls. Now we're going to make a glaze to brush over the top. You can push those rolls aside. In a large measuring cup, I've got 1 stick of melted butter. And to that, I added 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and about 1.5 teaspoons of sesame seeds. Now stir that and let that brown sugar dissolve just a little bit. Then you're going to grab those rolls and spread that mixture evenly over the top. If you have a little silicone brush, you can use that, but I ended up just drizzling it over the top. And while I'm thinking about it, I want to give a shout out to Crystal and her baby dog Bobo. She said Bobo loves watching my videos. I love dogs, so I just thought that was too cute. Okay, and about that glaze, if you wanted to, it was a lot of glaze. So if you wanted to, you could cut the butter in half actually. I sprinkled them with a few more sesame seeds, then put it in the oven to bake at 350 for 20 to 30 minutes. And I probably left them in a little longer than I should have, but they were still delicious. If you feel like they're getting brown a little too fast, you can always lay a piece of foil over the top. I'm not gonna lie, these were a little messy, but they were so good. You can make these to take to a church get-together or a summer party. You could also make them to have for lunch or even dinner. And if you have a favorite chicken salad recipe, you could always use that to make these. But I'll definitely be making these again. Now this Mexican coleslaw was a new favorite. I'm starting out with a large bowl. We're going to make the dressing mixture first. I added 1 cup of mayonnaise. I use Duke's because that's our favorite. But you can use whatever you like. I also added 2/3 cup of sour cream, 2 tablespoons of taco seasoning, and about 3 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. I should have used my whisk for this, but I didn't want to dirty anything else up, so I just used that spoon and stirred it until it was well combined. Now it's time to add the rest. A 16-ounce bag of the tri-colored coleslaw,
but if you want, feel free to shred your own cabbage. Next, you're going to add 1 can of the whole kernel corn, and I did drain that. Followed by 1 can of drained and rinsed black beans. If you're not a fan of black beans, you can always use the pintos. I also added 1 can of drained rotel. The recipe called for 1 jalapeno seeded and finely chopped. I didn't have that, so I added 1 small 4-ounce can of the diced jalapeno peppers, drained. And I got ahead of myself and started to stir this, and then remembered that I still had to add 1 red diced bell pepper. Now you can give that a final really good stir. Then you're going to cover this and let it refrigerate for at least 30 minutes before you serve it. This is also something you can make ahead. Just make it the day before. Maybe make things a little easier on you. Now, we loved this recipe, but there's only one thing that I would change. It needed salt, so make sure you taste it. I added at least a half a teaspoon, if not more, but just add it a little bit at a time, because you can always add more. You can't take it away. I did dice up an avocado to serve on top of this, and we loved it. We all went crazy over this loaded baked potato salad. This is the first time that I've used roasted potatoes for potato salad, and it is a game changer. So to begin, I washed and cut 2.5 pounds of red potatoes. You're just going to cut them like you would potato salad. I seasoned them with about a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of pepper, and then you're going to drizzle on about 2 tablespoons of oil. Then toss them around until they're all evenly covered in that seasoning. I use a spatula, but if you want to, you can just get in there with your hands. Now these potatoes go in a preheated 425-degree oven for about 45 minutes. I did stir mine halfway through. Here they are out of the oven, and you just want to cook them long enough to where they're fork tender. And I'm going to set them to the side for just a second while I grab a bowl. You'll need a good sized bowl for this, so you'll have room to mix it all together. And you can go ahead and add in those roasted potatoes. By the way, if you're new, I would really love to have you here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. It's totally free. That way you don't miss out on any of my future videos. Okay, after you get those potatoes in there, you're going to add about half a cup of cooked chopped bacon, followed by 3/4 cup of your favorite ranch dressing. And I also added about 4 chopped green onions. Now just stir it up or toss it all around until everything is completely and evenly covered in that dressing. Now all that's left to do is to transfer this to a serving dish, and then it's ready to eat. Now I liked this just how it was, but if you want, you could always sprinkle on some shredded cheddar cheese. And because you don't have to chill this is perfect to make last minute. And y'all, I've always had potato salad cold, so I wasn't sure what I would think about it hot like this, but it was absolutely delicious. I'll definitely make it again. I've seen this 4-cheese Southern mac and cheese, and yep, I had to try it. I'm starting out by boiling up 8 ounces of elbow macaroni, and I just cook that according to the directions on the back of the box. And I always add salt to my water when I'm making pasta, but you don't have to do that. And just so you know, I always have the recipes either linked or typed out in the description box below. The macaroni's done, so I'm going to turn the heat off, drain it, and then return it to the stovetop. So make sure you use a large pot to boil the noodles, because we're just going to mix it all in here. I added 3 tablespoons of softened butter, and then I stirred it until it was almost completely melted. Now we're going to add 4 different cheeses to this. I'm adding 4 ounces of cubed Velveeta cheese, 4 ounces of softened cream cheese cubed, 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese, and 1 cup of shredded Monterey Jack cheese. And I highly suggest shredding your own, especially when you're making mac and cheese. Then I'm just giving this a quick stir until that cheese is mostly combined. It doesn't have to be completely melted though, because we're going to put it in the oven and bake it. I've got a measuring cup here with 1 cup of heavy cream in it. To that, I'm adding 1 beaten egg. You're going to whisk it and then add it right on into the macaroni and cheese mixture. This is very similar to my daddy's mac and cheese. He uses an egg, but he uses evaporated milk instead of the heavy cream. So if you don't have heavy cream on hand, I'm sure evaporated milk would work out just fine. Now I'm giving this a really good stir. And you do want to season this with salt and pepper to taste, and anything else you like in your mac and cheese. Now stir that up, then we're going to remove it from the stovetop here and head over to the counter with it. I'm using a 9 by 9 inch baking dish for this, and it's probably a good idea to spray it with some kind of non-stick spray. And you're just going to pour in that mac and cheese. I forgot to mention, since this has an egg in it, you can season it to taste with salt and pepper before you add the egg mixture in, just in case you feel like it needs a little more of something. Then when you have it right where you want it, you can add in the egg and heavy cream mixture. I've got it all in the baking dish here, and the recipe didn't say to sprinkle any cheese on top, so if you want to do that, I will not judge you. I'm baking this at 350, uncovered, for about 30 minutes. You'll know it's done when that top starts to get golden brown. And y'all, I am a huge fan of macaroni and cheese. I love it. But my daddy has always made the best macaroni and cheese in the whole entire world. Believe it or not, he uses quite a bit more cheese than this called for. But with the Velveeta and cream cheese in this recipe, I had to try it. And I'm so glad I did, because we absolutely loved it.
I really hope you enjoyed this video. You may also like these. Don't forget to subscribe down below for more potluck recipes, and I will see you in the next one.